Hey there. Welcome out to MVK's first Architecture and Innovation podcast. I'm out here today to really just test my equipment and try to show you that, first thought, best thought when you're trying to do these things. I'm just trying to cobble something together right now that might be of a little bit of value to people. Start developing a series. I want to get some of the knowledge out there that I've collected. And so today I want to talk about enterprise architecture and innovation. If you've been following me, you might remember that in 2018 in London, I gave a presentation called Enterprise Architecture as an Astrolabe to Innovation. That's, for me, was kind of the biggest distillation to date of my philosophy about enterprise architecture and how important architecture is to drive innovation processes. And I want to go back and revisit some of the things that I said there a year and a half ago. And in order to do that, I'm starting just by cobbling together some stuff now, reflecting my current knowledge, my current understanding, the way I'm looking at things now. And so what I'm going to do in this series, it's a series I had started last year at Mozilla when I was on Airmo, and I want to continue now. It's just basically creating mind maps and walking through those mind maps and seeing what I can teach you based on what I capture out in the mind map. So a lot of this is interesting technology set up here. I've got a Zoom H4n recorder that's doing my sound. I'm screen mirroring off my iPad all of this into the OBS software open broadcast system. I'm using MindNode as the software that I'm presenting the mind map from. So I'm using my little pin. So I'm over here. When I look to the side like that, I'm playing around with my iPad. I'm playing around with the map. I might try it some different ways too. Maybe I put it in front here. Maybe that looks a little different, right? So anyways, this is just playing around with gear and seeing where we get. And so here's the overall map right here, Enterprise Architecture and Innovation. And I want to go through here, and we're going to go through some of the different parts. But starting out with, what is architecture? Architecture has become a bad word, I think, in software development lately. And I want to reclaim it. For me, coming up with the definition of architecture, just a few things I wanted to brainstorm about that I think really capture some of the essentials of architecture. One is there's a pattern language. You have repeatable patterns, whether it's a data streaming pattern or something like a chain of responsibility pattern, which is a common pattern we use in programming, or if it's a functional pattern, command functions, things like that. In fact, one of the things I'm going to get into is how functional precepts are opening up new concepts for architecture. It'll be part of this series, but you have to have a pattern language. That's what defines an architect. It's having those patterns you can go back to. It could be a pattern for constructing a building, or in this case, it can be a pattern for developing software or developing the alignment between information systems in an organization. Architecture is automating what works. You find the things that are useful and that create value, and you figure out how to repeat them over and over and over again. You automate them so that you reduce error, you reduce cost, and you reduce error. Reusing for efficiency. I think this is essential. One of the concepts I'll get into with architecture is how architecture gives you a foundation for recycling. We're going to talk about how you can reuse technology and reuse data without having to get new resources, without the environmental waste that is created by all this additional tech. If you follow me through my architecture series, I'm going to show you how to reduce some of that. Architecture is customizing for value and difference. And what I mean by that is customizing, underline customizing. You start with the pattern language, you have the automation that works, you reuse for efficiency. A lot of that stuff's going to look the same from place to place. You customize where you create your unique value. You customize where you create a unique difference. It's going to inspire your customers. It's going to inspire your employees. That's going to make you next level. That's when customization comes in. The architect makes room for that customization, even in sort of creating this sort of prefab, if you will, of patterns and automation and reuse. We have all these pieces we're bringing together, and then we create openings in that for the things that are uniquely valuable. But look at it. If we look at technology businesses, 99% of what's happening under the hood of this is the same. I mean, 99% of the actual work is happening on the same computers, same operating systems, same drivers, same everything. I mean, you'll see with Amazon and Google, maybe they start tweaking little things in the stack. But the foundations of tech businesses are pretty much the same. There's specific opportunities for value and customization. The architect makes sure that the business is spending their time in that space and not in the 99% that's the same and that's commodity level. And finally, I think it's the architect's responsibility to incorporate diverse perspectives, incorporate diverse architectural philosophies, bring in a diverse workforce, find voices that need to be heard. And as I extend the map here, as you see, I talk about one of the roles of the architect in incorporating diverse perspectives is listening to the unheard voices. So as you see here, we've got the little mind map. I'm going to be doing a little talking head stuff. I may pop in and do some different scenes and everything going forward. This is just a test today, round one. I don't even think I'll have a title screen. We'll see. But welcome to MVK's exploration of architecture and innovation. Hope you'll join me on this journey. Thanks.